heading towards the YouTube, so watch what you're saying. Gonna get caught on the microphone.
Watch for the nip slip.
Yeah, nip slip. Watch for the nip slips. My bra is on. Okay, we are now on the YouTube channel. And here we go, you guys. It is the last show of the year.
Oh. Wow.
That's right, kid. Here, GH Spotlight and recap here on JLJ Media. My head is cut off. I'm showing you some Dallas realness, but I got to move this up a little bit. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr., one of your hosts for this fine show. We do on Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. where Homegirl is. And my co-hosts are, of course, there's only one, Lacretia Lyon. Hey, girl.
Yeah, that's me rocking Laura's PJs here. I was like, I have the same pair. I'm going to wear that.
And down below, he's back to the hat again.
That's
hat
right.
On, hat off, hat on, hat off. It's Frank Moran.
It's the only thing I have going on in life, guys. Just hats, and do I wear them or don't wear them? So, good stuff. Good stuff going on my life. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
And the beard. And the beard.
No, that's true. There you go.
It is. So we are here, folks, and just touch. I just shaved my whole face and head, so I just got a little bit here. That's it. I'm going to get on chat room. Okay. While my laptop computer is acting up, we'll see what happens there. I'm going to get to the chat. Somebody will see something. We are here tonight. It's the last episode of the year, last episode of the season. We are taking 3 weeks off because Daddy's tired. And we need to get a refresher. And then, once it's the holidays, who cares? So we'll be back January 10th. The Soap Block will be back January 10th, folks. January. People ask me 10 times today. I'm like, January 10th.
When are we coming back?
January 10th.
All right.
Is that Frank? January. Yeah. Don't ask me December 31st or January 2nd or 3rd. Don't do it.
Are we coming back January 3rd?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking. All right.
No. Okay. So a little housekeeping before we get started. The Soap Block happened today, of course, except for Edition Days. They're on hiatus till January 10th also. They ended last week. But Bone Beef Mini Spotlight is already out. Me and Tammy Govea talked about the craziness of Thomas and everything on that show. And Liam, and how much we hate Liam right now.
Who doesn't? Even Scott Clifton and his mom hate Liam.
Oh, I know. It's the best thing. It's the best thing. So follow Clifton's Notes on Twitter. You'll see all we're talking about. So I love that name too, Clifton's Notes. Cliff Notes. And then Y&R Mini Spotlight is out. I did a whole year-end discussion about Y&R, what we think. And folks have some definite ideas. And I had a good year on my show, so it was a great year for me. My Tarai interview is almost at 9,000 views in just 2 weeks. So I don't know what's going on there. They like the lesbians. So yeah, I know. Lacretia, I couldn't believe it. They love some Cameron Grimes and Kate Fairbanks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we love Cameron, of course, but I mean, I love them both now. So that's out now too. Daytime Today, your entertainment news, is out also with Tammy Govea and Candace Mack. They talk about All My Children returning as Pine Valley. Yeah. Yes, and Camila Banus, who I know, is now engaged to a hunky man, and other things that went on that time too. So before I go into something else, I was going to ask Lacretia, who do they have to have back on Pine Valley?
Well, I mean, Erica Kane, of course, and it looks like they will be focusing on the Kane family as well as the Santos family, which will be nice. I would like to see be good, like some of the people that you wouldn't expect, like that are members of those families. And I do feel like Alicia Minshew as Kendall has to be involved. I mean, and if we can't have Hayden on GH, Greenlee over there, because Greenlee will always be one of my faves.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy because everybody's going to want certain people, and it's a prime time, so you can't have everybody. But we talk about that on that show. Daytime Today, it's out now. And tomorrow, a new episode of Mistletoe Road is out. Episode 4 of my audio drama about 3 friends who get stuck in Christmas City. That's out tomorrow with a new song written by James Lott Jr., sung by the cast. That's all out tomorrow on all the streaming services. As we, there's 3 more episodes of that series, and that's it. Then the premiere of Claws, the series, my other auto drama, where Santa Claus as a Family premieres on Tuesday on all streaming services. And then on Wednesday, it's the JLJ Media Christmas crossover special. I took people from all different shows I do, and we came together for a funny little bit. But that'll be out also. I know Frank is crazy, but I'm casting Frank in something. Trust me, I'm casting him in something.
Oh,
I'm already writing it.
God, that crossover episode. That's cool.
We didn't want you. That's simple. I was like, I don't want him. But I'm writing for him now.
So James, as you did your wrap up here, since you watch all three soaps, which soap do you think was most successful in navigating the year 2020 in terms of quality and content?
Well, Days. Clearly, they were set. They had new shows though. They didn't skip a beat. Yeah. Days kept on going the whole time. They had the time jump, which to me changed everything. Changed the game. It changed the show. I will say I completely think Days is ahead, but I will say Bold and Beautiful took chances. Bold took some chances this year, and it's working. I mean, it took chances, and it's kind of working. Folks are up in arms, they're angry, they're happy, they're sad. I mean, it's got people watching, and General Hospital got better. General Hospital got better throughout the year. I mean, at first I was like, it got better.
I will say, as someone who's been watching all four as well, like newly, because I always watch GH and then Y&R, and to see the differences in Days and Bold, I will say, like, Days was the lucky one to have all that in the bank, and the way that their new episodes are going, they went the GH route. They even have people kissing if they wanted to. So, I mean, it's been seamless for them, but content-wise, after the pandemic, GH is just number one. And I'm seeing tons of people just sort of agree with that, because I mean, Y&R, they're the ones kind of in a slump, sadly. But I feel like that may change soon. But yeah, I enjoy the mannequin stuff on Bold. Yeah.
Me too. I mean, it was crazy, but it seemed to work, and it did kind of work. And there were some stellar performances in the last couple of weeks from some of these folks on there. So I will, even how maddening it is, kind of, is some good stuff. So Bold worked it out. No, Bold is the one that actually has the distancing thing on screen, which is a little scary. Like, he's way over here. She's way over here. I love you too. It's a little crazy, but it's working. And also, I just want to say, Lori Coyle says, "Wrong hat, Frank."
Want to say Packers, baby.
Wrong hat. Wrong hat.
Well, it is the wrong hat. Not just. I mean, I'm actually cheering for the Packers this year because the Cowboys were abysmal. I mean, although we won today, but I do love Aaron Rodgers and the coach Matt LaFleur. But I'm just shocked Frank's wearing a football hat. Yeah.
I know. All I know is I can't really hear you. My team, the Steelers, keeps winning, so I can't hear you guys right now. It's a little.
You and Anthony Jeselnik. He's like, ever since I got my dog, the Steelers have been winning every game, and it's like, oh, sure, yeah, great. As a Cowboys fan, I don't feel your pain. That one loss they had. Oh,
that was one, but we're so busy winning right now. Lori's responds. She's a Bears fan. Chicago.
I grew up.
I'm sorry.
Chicago, so I'm a Bears fan, but I enjoy Aaron Rodgers tremendously as well. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's have that
Yeah.
I don't want to lose fans. Talk about sports. We're gonna lose fans. We're gonna lose fans. They're like, what's going on here? I can talk sports all day, but that's another story. I could. I know. Lacretia could too. I mean, we could, but
yeah.
Tammy.Govea is in the chat room, and she says, "Agreed, Lacretia." So we all watch all the shows. We watch all of them. So yeah, I would right now. I would say between Days and GH, but I'd say Days gets the win for just like giving a beat.
They certainly wins. Yeah, they certainly win for best use of Tamara Braun. Yeah, because she is killing it over there.
They do. They do. Every Vitale. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about, folks, because I mean, and I'm going to start with the big one, just because this one, it was a death that I was screaming at the television happened, and I love the actor, and his tweets are hilarious.
Yeah.
But I was like, come on, Frank. That death took forever.
It's and when they're finally, and of course we're left to I'm sure the body is, we can't find the body. So
well, it's Sunny too. I
Yeah.
was shocked by that. It's Sunny.
I feel like it robbed all of this of any sort of drama that it could have had by the end of it. You know, it's just that. I mean, when you bring in Duke and you've got Kate and you've got the image of Alexis there, kind of taunting him and goading him and talking to him about his past sins and his refusal to take responsibility for his actions. That was the highlight. And if the death would have kind of spun out of that, would have been great. But they kept on going, and it just by the end of it, it just was watered down. And so just like I don't care. I really don't care. It's just and this was just it ended on a whimper, not a bang with Julian.
I will say, is this not the longest drawn out death in history on GH? I mean, I will truly admit that last scene though, when Jason's running slow-mo to get Sunny and it collapses, I laughed my ass off. Like literally LOL'd. It was so funny and well done, like in that way. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Because that was sort of like a fitting end to just how ridiculous this had been. And I'm with you, Frank. The best thing was like Duke and Connie, because I feel like Connie was there because they couldn't get Jeffrey Vincent Parise as Carlos. And so I kind of understood that. And I will say dead Connie, I love way more than live Connie. Her basically being like, oh, my family. Her, pointing out that Julian is just this one thing, and he really isn't her. He will, and he's cute, but it's like, oh my God, kill him already. And how great was it to see Ian Buchanan again? Oh. I mean, he's delightful.
Yeah. That was definitely a nice little appearance that I was not expecting. And even if you just wanted to just keep it at Duke and just have it, he was ushering Julian into hell or whatever he wanted to do, that would be great. It'd be great. Let's end it that way. But instead, no, it just, to have the him collapsing on the bridge and then Sunny and him wrestling, and then we got to see him get shot again. Like, it was just so much. But that gunshot by Sunny, I just didn't care. I mean, he was like, I didn't care.
It went on forever. I mean, all I know is that white dress, the bloody stain.
Yeah,
that's Wilson's favorite character. Every time she comes back, it's always that white dress, the bloody stain. I thought it was really interesting when Connie had said, you didn't shoot me or kill me, but your sister did to protect you from, like, there's a whole, it all goes back to Julian. Yeah. All roads lead back to Julian. I was like, yeah, that's right. And Julian's just this little weasel. He's a weasel. He made him into a weasel.
Yeah, and it's just, if you're going to play this whole thing where Sunny gets to be there at the end for Julian, then the show's got to make the decision, and they felt like they made the weakest choice possible. It's like, we want Sunny there, but we really don't want him to be that responsible for his possible death, and still leave a back door for a possible return of Julian, down the road if we wanted to go that route. And I feel like it just ended up being it watered everything down.
Kelly Public covered a good point, actually. People are fighting online about which Connie they brought back. I like the original actress. I like the other one too. I like them both.
Yeah.
I mean, they both were good. So I thought, but this one, she looked great. I thought, why not? Yeah. They're both Connie and Kate.
Well, and Megan Ward was probably available because I think she lives in LA. I don't think Kelly Sullivan does, because I know she does a lot of the Tyler Perry stuff that's in Atlanta. And that may have been the reason. And two, she was the one who came back when she haunted Ava. That's why people are like, oh, Ava killed Connie, because I read the soap Twitter too. It's disgusting often, but it's like, yes, she already haunted Ava. We've already dealt with that. Ava has become a better person, as we'll talk about later. But it's like, okay, that made sense, because too, I do feel like they couldn't get Carlos, because I think that may have been the original plan, as it should have been. But you guys, you got to take what you can get right now, and they're doing their best, and you got to deal with it. Same thing with, I know a lot of people are upset that they'll miss Will and all that, but the thing is he got 2 extra weeks, so you got a lot more out of this, whether we enjoyed something or not, this long drawn out death. But it's like they gave him a lot more than they did Emmy, guys. Let's live in reality.
They did. No, it's funny, and I agree. And greatly said, Lacretia. I would say that it is COVID has changed a lot of stuff, and especially in California, and especially in LA where it's horrible here. When you come, you got quarantined for 14. There's a lot of things you have to do. Just even, so they were talking to Jess Walton, who comes from on YNR, comes from
she's in Oregon. Yeah.
The whole thing about that too. She's like, I can't come all the time. So they did what they could. And Megan Ward was Connie at one point. She was like a new actress.
She was the original. I mean, like that's sort of the thing is she was the original. I like Kelly Sullivan better in a lot of ways too, but it is what it is, guys.
Yeah, it's just it is. Ian, of course, yes, Ian is gorgeous. We love seeing our friend Ian Buchanan. He's one of the nicest guys in the industry. You can check out my interviews with him. He's been with us several times. He's a great guy. So it's good to see him come back. And I again, we knew he was coming because he made the announcement, but I didn't know about Kate. So that was
a good surprise. And they've done a really good job of surprising us. I mean, I know as a Mandalorian fan, the fact that was kept secret for so long, I won't spoil it. But again, Connie being kept secret, we've got that. Like, they're doing a good job of kind of keeping things out that they used to, really foil things that way.
Don't mention Mandalorian to me. Me and the Grogu still having separation anxiety. So just we came and get me started on that. And that ending, I cried like a baby in that ending. I cried like a baby Grogu at that ending. So Julian is gone. Sonny is gone at the moment. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And Jason's there, so we'll see what happens there. There's that. And it's fun seeing Diane come do her thing, obviously, when it comes to that whole thing. If you love Carolyn Hennessy, that's the girl,
Conveniently, just in the city for
get there fast, Frank.
Yeah, I was right. I was just conveniently.
They pay her the big bucks. The bitch needs to be there in 5 seconds. If he calls you, you get there in 5 seconds. Because I was like, she did seem like she was a little close. But I was like, no,
I mean, she was in Manhattan, so
yeah, exactly.
He was like, lucky for Manhattan. You, I was close. Yeah.
I got my rocket pack, and I just rocketed over to you guys.
I'm like, I know New York State and city, and like they're not that close. I mean, it's like upstate New York's way up there. Anyway, it's not a story, but she made it there. We love her, and you go on Carolyn Hennessy, do your thing, and they are filming Studio City season 2 right now. So you guys know that. With Sean King.
Oh, good. And do you think that cop with that mustache also moonlights as a stripper? Because I loved his mustache.
He got his time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He got his time, and the guy was a shooter. They gave him a couple of close-ups. I was like, he's dead. They gave him a couple of close-ups. You got your close-ups, sir, for your SAG card. That's right.
And you're real.
They're real because they had him. They showed him dead, the beard and the ponytail. I was like, okay, he got his. But they both got their time. I was like, oh, that's cute. Why not? So that's that. So that's the whole thing. Julian's dead. That's all I got. Supposedly. I'm just glad that we have to see that anymore. So that's a private plane. Grogu is gone. Don't start with me, people. Don't start with me.
All right, but what do you think the odds are that we see Julian come back in 5 years?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, come on, Frank.
Yeah.
Surprised.
Yeah, maybe it's a different actor. But yeah, I could easily see him coming back. Yeah.
But I feel like if they do, they really gotta change that character. I mean, they gotta goose that character a little bit because I mean, to come back and be like he was now, not great.
Yeah, because Imaginary Duke really summed it up. He is a rat, and that is the thing is Julian wasn't a rootable character as much as we liked Will. The character had become this whiny victim, and that's why I liked that whole scenario because it is just like, that's exactly how he is. Sorry.
He is. So I'm like, okay. So he's gone. Okay. I want to talk about this now because it was so good. The scene of the episode of the week for me was the new Grey siblings. I have to tell you, I didn't realize it was going to happen that fast, the reveal. I didn't realize it was going to happen that fast. I have to say, and I wrote this online, Jeff Korber's performance when he was acting opposite Michael E. Knight, Emmy winner Michael E. Knight, it sold me on Cyrus.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I was already enjoying his character, but I feel like this gave him an extra layer. And I feel like that's why he did want to connect with Laura, because he thought that Laura might actually understand him because she accidentally killed someone too. And I felt in that moment you know, why Cyrus really built for him. Laura in that scene did as well, because she understands where he's coming from and why he went on that path. And I do see it's like obviously he wasn't essentially responsible for the bomb, but you could tell even when he realized Lulu was involved, he did seem to have that heart. And I feel like he may replace Julian in that way as like the foil for Sonny, but also we're giving him family. We're giving a reason to maybe keep Cyrus around because yeah, him and Jeannie Francis were just killing it. And I think Jeff is the kind of caliber actor that she can really work well with. And I loved Michael Knight in this whole thing as well. They were very believable, even though it's not really a Shreveport accent, as someone who grew up very close to Shreveport.
And my father, so yeah, so I'm like, okay.
But I mean, I at least like the explanation. And to me, I was like, oh, this is good. This is a fully fleshed out story using history. I'm really impressed. Frank,
for me, I think it's all going to depend on. I mean, I enjoyed the reveals, and I'm glad that they happened, and the acting was great. But it'll be curious to see what happens with Cyrus. Because if you look at like Julian is a great example for Cyrus, is that you bring Julian in with the Jerome family as maybe a foil for Sonny, and as we know, all foils for Sonny end up just becoming clowns by the end of it because Sonny's got to be, you know, the hero of sorts. So Cyrus now having like the Laura connection and having some other things outside of necessarily Sonny specific might help that, but we also just have this kind of, you know, this Cold War that's slowly eating up. Or quickly heating up, depending on how fast they decide to pull the trigger on it. So then it really becomes like, well, what do they make Cyrus a clown for that? And do they kind of cut the legs out from under Cyrus as well? Because, you know, I don't know. What they do next with Cyrus in relation to Sonny will say to me a lot about how long they want to invest in that character.
So I will go in between you both somewhat. I thought the scenes were amazing. I thought Jeff Corby started to get tears in his eyes, talking about his dad, him and he was like, and Laura was kind of like watching. She was like just getting her information, just collecting the tea, and just like, what's going on here? I kind of laughed a little bit because she was kind of like just watching, just being quiet.
It was, and her mouth was always kind of like,
it was good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like she was kind of, but she was like quiet. She was like, she wanted to find out what was going on, and just seeing the dynamic between Martin Gray and Cyrus, and he calls him Cy. It was like that's like this whole kind of like brother thing. Yeah. I just loved it. I just thought, again, for me, it was like a sibling reveal for people of a certain age. It's not that common. Y&R was starting a storyline like that, and they didn't end up not doing it recently. But I kind of like it. It's just something different. It's like it's just kind of like it's born out of an old story. The chick laying in the bed was there 40 years ago. So she was an original actress who played Homegirl. So I forgot her name. Rosemary, what the fuck her name is. She was there 40 years ago. They brought her back. And this whole thing is Gordon Gray. It's a whole part of history of General Hospital. So they're actually not having to make up anything really, but they made up the family part. But like it's born out of something. And I just thought the acting choices were good. I thought Laura was funny when she kind of popped up. I was like, hi, surprise. Like, what kind of cake is that? You know, it was just kind of, he's just like, what are you doing? And my mother, it was kind of funny, but it wasn't funny. It was just like, she was trying to get information. I just thought, when he, like Tammy said, when he said, welcome to the family, sis, that was the best line. I was like, oh my God. He's oh my God. Yes, Lacretia?
Yeah, the whole thing was so well done, especially as Martin and her are discussing, you know, their relation. And she's like, well, how does that relate to Cyrus Renault? And then he's like, because she's my mother too. And it was like, wow, just like the perfect moment. To me, everything about this was just well done. And I was really impressed. And two, it's putting Jeannie Francis, who should be front and center.
Yes.
The scene where Laura's about to get injected with the sedative, I really wish, like, I mean, I'm sure in the time of COVID, it's shooting conditions aren't ideal, and you got to just make do with what you can do. But when they do the close up of the doctor and he's getting ready to put in the syringe, and you just see the sweat coming dripping down his forehead, you're like, come on, guys, you could have just taken a second just to like let's do this one more time and just wipe off the poor guy's forehead. This is creepy and weird.
Yes. Oh yes, Hummingbird cake is real. It actually is a real cake. I've actually
because I assumed it was real, but it's something I've never actually really had. It may not be that popular anymore. Yeah,
it's an old timey cake.
Yeah.
I've had it, so I can actually tell you it is for real. But yeah, no, I'm also with Frank on the side of now what, because there are, so to me, I'm choosing to look at it as we're giving more layers to now Cyrus to flesh him out a little more, because he's not some cartoony one-dimensional villain. Tie him to the mayor of Port Charles. That's a great thing. That's really good. Even though he's about to do nefarious things. But when they explained how his father didn't like him and how he turned to people who cared about him, they were gangsters. I mean, I felt sorry for him a little bit. I really did. I felt like, because this Gordon Gray guy, was he good? Was he bad? I mean, everybody, all kids grow up looking at their parents a certain way. I have a lot of sisters and brothers. We all have different looks of how we see our parents. So who knows what the truth is? But each of them took a different path. And like Laura said, he didn't even like acknowledge her, basically. So I was like, what it was, I just wonder. And then the mother waking up and seeing Cyrus is like, so it's very interesting. I'm very curious to see this family dynamic, and like Frank said, where it's going to actually go. But I enjoyed this week thoroughly.
Well, Cyrus is also kind of similar to Julian in the sense where Julian, even to the bitter end, would not take any responsibility for his actions. And Cyrus, I mean, although they can't prove anything, everybody knows the deal. And yet he refuses to admit anything. So if he becomes very much like Julian, where it's like, no, that's going to get tiresome as well, too. So, but then it's also then you have to deal with the consequences of somebody that has ordered the deaths of or has pushed drugs and killed untold people. Then does he have to pay the price as well there too? And then how does the show kind of roll with that?
Well, and the thing is, though, the show has precedent for that even our heroes on the show have all done those things. So anybody thinking that Cyrus can't be redeemed is kind of like, well, what show have you been watching for however long? Because like Sonny, Jason, Ava, Franco, I mean, even Valentine, all these people are kind of like, redeemed now, but they've all done awful things. I mean, most people have done awful things. I mean, Carly, Alexis. So to me, Cyrus is redeemable. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe now that he's reconnecting with Laura, maybe he decides to change. Again, I don't know, because we don't know how long Jeff Cover's in for the show. If he decides to stick around, just like these other actors have in the past, they kind of started out as a villain. They weren't sure how long they'd go. But if you do something to redeem yourself and admit what you did wrong and try to be better, that you can be redeemed. And that's the thing that they really failed to do with Julian.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long both he and Michael Knight are sticking around, because it'd be a shame if both of them just bail after 2 years, and then it's like, wow, we kind of opened this door to Laura's family, and now we're just closing it again. So I hope they're sticking around longer.
Well, what's interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I agree, especially for Michael Knight. I mean, I'm just so happy he's getting to be a fleshed out character.
Yes, I do too. And he's somebody who needs to be utilized. He's a great actor. The accent bugs a little bit. I'll take it. I'll take it. So there's some folks who have no pity for Cyrus, and I understand that. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying that I think they're trying to, this is soap opera, folks. This is what they do all the time. Sometimes they have just straight up villains.
Like Helena.
Helena. But the most villains have an Achilles heel. There's always something about them that's on the fringe. And remember, villains don't think they're villains. Villains think they're heroes.
The hero of their own story. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things that, it's a soap, like you say, and most people have layers. Like, there's very few straight up villains, because that wouldn't be interesting. And whether it's comic books or things too, guys, like, your villains have some sort of a heart. They may do these despicable things, but there has to be some reason that they do the things that they do, and you understand them to make them a full fleshed out character.
I agree. That's just kind of what they do. But on a side note of that, I liked the conversation between Laura, wrong person, same family, Carly and Jocelyn. I thought it was a very regular, honest conversation about their life. It was very interesting. I don't know what you guys thought about that. I thought it was just really, it was a cool, quiet scenes. They were quieter. They weren't like loud and flashy, but I really enjoyed them.
I like that we're having these conversations. And too, a lot of this has come about with Sam's decision to leave Jason and leave that life. And she did have that conversation with Jocelyn. And I like that Carly has taken the time to have these conversations as well. And Carly does a lot better with Jocelyn than she did with her boys, in my opinion. And it may be because Jax is her father too. And there is that anchor, that grounded person there. And so it does seem like she does think about the life and even about that for Jocelyn, even if it is just for the sake of Jax. But I do like that they have these conversations, and I really like their relationship. And Eden and Laura are just so good and so believable as mother and daughter.
I agree. Frank, what are your thoughts on that stuff?
I like it, but I also, it always kind of bugs me when Carly has these scenes with Jocelyn where it's like, you know, because they had a scene many months ago where Carly's always talking about, she's always taking the temperature of the room. She's kind of figuring out where things stand. And I always love that little conversation between Carly and Jocelyn when she said that. But she will also, as much as she might say to Jax, like, well, all right, I mean, if she wants to live with you, then okay. But then when she's with Jocelyn, it's always like, if that's what you want to do, but then she puts on the big crybaby eyes. Like, if that's what you want to do, is that what you want to do? I feel like, why you're saying one thing and yet you're emotionally blackmailing her in a sense. The other, like, well, you want to go? Live somewhere with your dad? Oh. So that bugs me.
Well, you know.
Frank, I'm going to need you to do that impression every time.
But I mean, again, cute little scene there because they are starting to question things a little bit. I mean, that kind of makes sense. They're getting older. They're starting to question stuff. Even though it was kind of born out of originally, you know, Carly getting upset with her helping Trina, which that leads to the other big reveal this week because he just couldn't keep it. He just couldn't stay in the shadows. He had to keep on coming out. We had recast this week too. Taggart. People know Taggart's alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for whatever behind the scenes reasons necessitated that the original Taggart had to be off the show for that. It's unfortunate. It just synced up with that kind of payoff because it just kind of undermined all of it. You're like, all right, yeah, sure.
Well, I got one thing to say, folks, and I'm going to say this, and I said it online. Not all black folks can be just interchanged because he was shades darker than Rial Andrews. I was like, yeah, he has a ball. I got a bald head too and a goatee. I was like, no, that's a little weird. He's a little darker than Rial Andrews. Sorry. Be careful when you do your casting. And I love Mark Tesher and all that, but I was just kind of like, that's a little crazy. He's a little darker than. I'm like, come on, folks. He was a good actor. Yeah. He did his thing. He did his thing. But with Frank, I agree with you. It's like the big payoff. It syncs up with that. I think we all had some health issues. That's why. But he's going to be back to the show. Yeah. But it's just like it syncs up with the schedule. It synced up with the schedule, and it did. I mean, Cindy McKayla did a great job. Obviously, she did a great job.
Yeah, I loved that scene with Portia and her. And just when Portia grabbed him, it was like, oh, no, you don't. Like,
she did.
Yeah, I love that we are getting a lot more of Portia and her point of view with all this. And just, to me, the relationship with her and Trina is really special. And I like that. And I actually really liked Trina's conversation with Jordan. It really made you see Jordan in a little bit of a different light as well. But it was still nice for that end scene with her.
I mean, I did like Trina on the way. Like, I'm gonna have more to say with you later.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, hold down, girl. I'll get to you. Don't worry.
Yep.
I'll be right back. Like I'll be right back. That was like, yes. Rial's got to clean, but he's cancer free. So now he was going through some stuff. You know, he's a friend of mine. So, but and like some people said he could have waited till he came back. I wish they could have waited too a little bit. But I also do know production schedules. Do these? You gotta.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, just like with Brooklyn, there are times where it's like, yeah, you wish it was the original actress who will be playing, but they got to do what they got to do. It's a business, guys, and yeah, maybe we'll get some redos of those for flashbacks. They tend to do that sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I have to say. My man, I won't say his real name, but Curtis. He got mad at Jordan. He was like, "Okay, bitch, what happened here? And you knew when, and what you?" And he let her have it.
Yeah, that was good. That was a long time coming, and I like. We all feel like Curtis and Portia will be hitting the sheets soon. That's.
Yeah, it was finally time that this finally came out, and to see what I mean. As you know, not surprisingly, Curtis was like, "Hey, that's cool. Yeah, Tiger's alive, and you didn't tell me." No, yeah, there's certainly Jordan has laid down a lot of precedent for only telling Curtis some of the stuff, so it was bound to come out. And
well, she did stand her ground a little bit. I mean, in the middle of it, she was like, "No, I didn't tell you because I want to keep you. I didn't want to fall on you." This was my band. She was like, it was me, and she named those 4 people. They're part of this whole thing. I mean, in a way, she was kind of like, I'm upset I didn't tell you, but there was actually a real reason I had to do with my job. And I think in her mind, it did have to do with them. It wasn't about trusting him or not trusting him. She was protecting him. But I get his point too, like, you let me in when you want to let me in, kind of thing. It's like you tell me stuff only when you want to tell me something. And you could have told me. He probably wouldn't have told anybody. So I get his point. It's one of those things where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing, which is kind of what happened. But I just thought that they both had really good points.
Yeah, as much as I want to like Jordan sometimes because she tends to act first and not think about things. But this was one of those times that she was thinking of Curtis. But I understand his point of view too, like you, where it's like no one's really the bad guy. But it is one of those things that, especially when Curtis felt so guilty, that's when she really should have told him. But I understand why she didn't.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's completely, I just was like, there's no really winners or losers. They're both losers in this whole thing because they got into a huge fight. And they both are trying to fight a common enemy. That's kind of the point. It's like, it's not really, it just kind of, I understand both sides, and I thought it was a great scene. It gave Donnell Turner something to chew on. I was like, I have to chew on. So I love with Laura. I love the whole Laura stuff. More of that, please. But also, I'm glad it gives. I like Laura. I like that. I love that. But
yes, and I love that too. But the moment where they first go to check her in, and Laura really gets into character and kind of summons her past sanitarian self, and then when they get finally into the room and they're checked in, like, whoa, that was incredible. Like she just sat there and just kind of with her mouth open moaned. It really wasn't like
and the drool.
It was easy, Curtis.
Good. You're just so jaded. You did great. She had to recreate her own life.
That's right.
Her own life. It's hard for her.
I thought it was a funny wink and a nod to that. That was so bad back then because I was. Oh God, I remember that too, and being like, and so I felt like that was making fun of it, so I was okay with it. Yeah.
The other thing, though, is where does everybody stand on during that Carly and Jocelyn scene, where Jocelyn's like, you're just such a great mom. You're cooler than you get it, like unlike other moms.
Well, I felt like the reason she gets it, like being a teenager, is because she still kind of acts like a teenager. So I thought it was a very fitting line because that is how you feel when you are that kid with the cool parent. And like, you're like, oh, but they're cool because they haven't really grown up. Yeah.
It's fine. I know it's kind of funny. Yes, Curtis did look amazing.
No, that's true.
I agree with you, Sherry R. And yes, Rodell and Curtis look good in that seat. Yes. And it's nice that Curtis take a breath. He's not a cop anymore. Oh, okay, Michael B. He's like, and he goes and says, I get that Julian wants to protect Julian. Sorry, I read that wrong. Julian's bad bitches. I get that Jordan wanted to protect Curtis, but letting him feel guilty. Again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Right.
again, it's not a great thing, but I get where she was. I mean, it's nobody won. Nobody won on that one. There's
No.
There's
It's
no winners.
unfortunate.
But Taggart could keep himself hidden, so he's the one who gets on my nerves. We kept coming out like.
And I loved Mac being involved in this because I like that he is acting commissioner because it's like, oh, thank God. Like with more Mac is always a good thing.
And him and Jordan had a talk too. He was like,
yeah, I know what's happening.
He wasn't buying what she was selling. He said he wasn't. Was he, Frank?
That's right. I lost my bar, Jordan. I lost my bar.
He did. No more mac and cheese and for you people. So I'm like, it's just great. Yes, Trina and Cam are great actors. We like them.
Yeah.
But so that reveal is out now. Now he's in custody to be held, to be safe on some level. Trina got mad, understandably, because she was just like, come on. Again, she did a great job. I loved even before that when Ava and Portia, they're becoming this little kind of like co-parents, mothers, so to speak, to Trina. I'm liking that also. I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah, to me, that was one of my favorite scenes this week because it showed just how much growth Ava has. Because Portia is an upset mom, and so she kind of like attacks Ava a little bit, like, oh, this is all your fault. And then Ava, instead of defending herself or acting, like she would have in the past, she was like, oh, what's going on with Trina? Like, oh, she hadn't been there, and just talk to her mother to mother. And important scene to just show that we have had this growth with Ava that didn't happen with Julian, is that Ava listened to Portia and tried to help her. And then I loved when she was yelling at Trina on the phone. I was like, Ava didn't mind being the bad guy. No, get here now. Like, and then Trina's like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Tammy Doc Govea brought up a scene. I guess now we'll talk about it now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I made a comment online that the real couple we're rooting for.
Of
the
course.
Skirtless love scene between Michael and Chase. It was like there was so much cheese in there with no shirts on. They're in the locker room.
Playing with the boys.
I know.
If you didn't have that song in your head, like, what's wrong with you? I can't believe no one did a mashup. Yeah.
So everybody saw his toes. The brother likes a pedicure. His toes were on point. Yes, his toes had clear nail polish. I didn't look at his feet, so I don't know anything about that.
I didn't like that he waxed his chest. I like his hairy chest. Harry Chase has a hairy chest. I didn't need him to wax it. Like,
I know, Josh Swickard. What are you doing?
Yeah, I just love how they played into the gay stuff with like, oh, I thought you were gonna kiss me, Godfather style. I'm like, this is great, and they know what we all want.
Yeah, I call it romance also. Romance. I mean, it's just to me,
romance is Marty and Val.
Well, that's it. Yes, but it's like get the little hair. I got the little hair curl things hanging from there. It's like, is this like a gay love story? Like, what the fuck's going on? So I thought it was hilarious. And he goes, take a breath.
That's what?
Take a breath. I mean, it was metrosexuals, yes.
It
was just kind of gratuitous. It was, and it was on purpose.
You may as well just at the end when Chase puts the ice on his testicles and goes, oh, you might as well just put that
I won't be doing the male part at the nurses' ball next year.
That was,
and that is hilarious. I just thought it was hilarious.
The scene work. I mean, whatever the dialogue, whatever. But also just like the pacing back and forth to the locker. Just it was so cheesy. It's like, well, all right, just how about on this line? I just walk back over to the locker and just hold on to it angrily. Oh, Chase. What do you think you know better?
Well, so his thing, Frank. So the point is, I think I guess they were trying to get at. These are two friends trying to get back to a friend. I guess that was
and that's how guys do it. It's like you punch each other and then you're done. It's way more. It is just like get out your grievances or your sexual frustration with one another. Whatever you want to call it, because they're the real end game.
I'm just always kneeling. Yeah, I'm just kneeling my male friends and tossing them bags of ice, and then
Frank next to Frank. next time we talk, gotta be shirtless. We gotta like just get each other's faces. I'm like, I don't do that with any of my male friends. Sorry, I'm like that's I don't know. So that's
It's just even the beginning. Like, man, I really left it all out there, huh? Easy, the humble brags. All right, enough.
So that was everybody, but everybody for looks wise, many people enjoyed that. So that's kind of how that went there.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched Josh Swickard's Christmas film that his wife wrote and produced, it is amazing. It is #1 on Netflix for a reason, guys. I was so impressed. It's called A California Christmas. It's very cute. Watch it. Yeah.
Daisy Flower says don't watch it.
Did you watch it, Frank?
No, but
no. Yeah, it's pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's code for a very polite for like. Yeah, okay. All right.
No, actually, I was thoroughly impressed with how well done it was and how like legit funny some of the dialogue. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I will say like it's cute because it's a love story. It's a Christmas. Yeah. Oh, what's up?
I have a question for you. Were you drinking or stoned while watching it?
Was it a day that ends in Y? Yes.
There you go. So that's why. Yeah. So when the Lacretia tells me stuff, I gotta make sure. Yeah, when did she watch it? When did she watch it? Like, okay. Well,
I mean, I'm that right now.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to make sure. I was make sure with her because I'm like, I may watch it if I have an edible or something or some drinks.
Oh, you two Grinches just need to watch it. Yeah.
So I mean, the great one.
Yeah.
But if you like Hallmark movies, you'll love it.
Yeah. Well, I really don't watch a lot of Hallmark movies, but I think again, it is like a little love story Christmas movie. It's actually better than most of the Christmas movies I've been watching. It was way better than the one with Ingo as a king.
Oh my God. I'm scared as it is already.
Yeah. I said it was better than that.
Yeah, I'm still scared. So on a serious note, James Patrick Stewart just lost his dad today. His dad was actually a famous singer back in the 60s, I believe.
In the Jungle Book, he's one of the vultures.
Yes, he is. So he was somebody himself, and so we love James Patrick Stewart. So we're just going to give condolences to him. I mean, he's a nice guy. I've talked to him. His wife's a professional organizer, so we've talked about that. He's a nice guy. So he wrote a nice little poem about his dad today and posted it in a picture.
Yeah,
it was very cool. So shout out to him. But this week, I mean, he's Valentine is made the rounds, and him and Marty made up.
Yeah, they made up. I loved it because are you into leather? It's like I even made the joke about he is a legal eagle. And if you guys know what an eagle is, in that community.
I know. But that was hilarious. We said
funny.
This in the leather. I was like, that is so hilarious. I loved it. But they made up.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No, I
like it.
Because I still felt like the Martin's attitude and how he behaved in the hospital scene that led to Valentine firing him just seems so out of character from every other kind of interaction that we've seen with Martin. So I'm glad that they're able to, whether it was just to put a little drama into it and so we could get this scene later, but I'm glad that they're able to kind of just mend fences. The two of them are, friends in real life, and the characters are fun when they work together. So.
Yeah, because now wouldn't Marty be Charlotte's uncle with Laura being his brother?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so now they're family. And that's the thing is I like their bromance. It's my favorite since Brew. Franco and Drew were so cute. And I like this because, again, with Michael and Chase, that's like full-on romance. But this is like a bromance.
Lacretia Lyon, because you would know this more than anybody else on the show. Daisy Flower 40 has a question. How many GH actors were on Supernatural?
Well, currently, in the last few years, you have Dominic Zambronia was a vampire in an episode. You've had Sebastian Roche, James Patrick Stewart, Matt Cohen, of course. And God, who else? We've had a lot of people in and out.
Was Jeff
I think I believe he was, and that was one of the early ones.
Okay. They're like, James and Frank avoid that movie. Now I think I'm going to watch it. Now I think I'm going to have an edible and watch it. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I will say, guys, like, I know I said cute, but it is like a legit good movie. It's more along the lines of like, a better Christmas film, like a it's not Tim Allen level, but like still, it's better than Hallmark. It is.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that movie. But anyway, so when I think of that movie and Elf was my two favorite movies.
Oh yes.
I love Will Ferrell. Okay, so she answered your question on Supernatural. Okay, got it. There are folks.
Oh yeah, Rick Springfield, of course. Yeah, he was Satan for a brief minute. Yeah.
Frank,
rock star who
Satan on Supernatural.
Yeah.
He was Satan.
Oh yeah. He was also on an episode of Can I See Your Voice? That was great.
Yeah.
Did you watch that really? Okay.
I did. I was in for it.
Was it good at all?
Yeah, it's a good. It passes the time. It doesn't change lives, but it's like
Wow, it doesn't change lives. Okay, that's okay. That's a glowing endorsement.
Wow.
That's a glowing endorsement.
Oh, trust me. 20. Fox already reached out to me to use me for their advertising firm. It doesn't change.
I gotta say, side note, folks, I watched The Prom. I actually really enjoyed it. Meryl Streep and James Corden was really good.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen it yet, but I will just say, like, if Frank was willing to watch that, I Can See Your Voice crap, dude, easily watch that Christmas movie. Like, come on, like.
I love it. Oh my god, I love it. So they're friends, but there are folks in the chat room. See, they don't trust Martin fully.
Well, I mean, people have been burned so many times before, and I will say that we know what a good actor Michael Knight is, and I kind of thought that they might have him take an evil turn, and it may be that it sort of flips the brothers, that Cyrus starts to be the good one, and maybe Marty goes a little bad. But as far as we see now, like, that was why Laura trusted him, because she heard how he talked to his mother, and there is a sweet side, and him apologizing to Valentine and realizing, like, that probably wasn't the best thing to say. Like, we're seeing he for all intents and purposes now is the good one.
Okay. Another storyline that I don't want to talk about it, but we have to. Okay. I like Gregory Harrison as an actor.
Yeah.
I like Michael Lee as an actor. I like the little girl who plays Violet as a little actress. I love Viola Hughes as Anna. I'm so over this whole storyline. I don't even know what the storyline is. Grandpa's around, okay. I double wedding. There's no Jackie Templeton. I don't know what's going on. It's a whole jumble mess for me. And then you add in Peter and Maxie, which I really don't want to talk about. And they're all just kind of, I don't know. You guys talk about. I don't know. I don't say. What do you guys think about what's going on there?
I don't. I guess this is going to be a time when secrets come out where Anna's going to have a secret that she really knows that Peter is not her son, it's Alex's, but she only told Valentine and they never told Finn. So that's her secret. And then I guess Finn's going to be able to have the counter secret of, I really slept with Jackie. And that's what led to me not talking to my dad for all these years. But I'm only going to tell you this at some other point. So if they're trying to keep that where each of them are going to have secrets, they're going to come out when this whole storyline blows up. I guess so. But if that's the case, then I understand it. But otherwise, I don't know why Finn doesn't just say, like, yeah, this is really the real deal about why I'm marrying you. I should trust you. This is the real deal about why this relationship went south.
Yeah, to me, that's the only thing that irks me about this storyline is why Finn hasn't come clean to Anna. I understand keeping Chase in the dark because they built this relationship up. And I understand that why he didn't want to say anything to his dad when they had a good marriage. You wouldn't want to do that because, Finn isn't a crappy person, but he's okay with looking like the villain so as not to blow that up. But now that they are getting divorced, it does make sense for them to have this conversation. And that's why he wasn't in their life. And that makes total sense. But yeah, I mean, any excuse to see little Violet, I do enjoy. I mean, those scenes were just adorable, and just that whole family is just so hot. Like, and that's a perfect little family there. But I finally found someone on the internet, and I'm even going to call them out because they are even more cynical than Frank. I thought it was so crazy. This Jasmine_Avery on Twitter said, Frank and the writer's continuous obsession with certain child actors is just creepy as hell. Violet is cute, but damn, enough is enough. So someone isn't even thinking that Violet is the cutest little thing ever and enjoying these scenes. So I'm like, whoa, I just wanted you to feel, Frank, that you weren't the biggest Grinch of this, because even you agree that she's cute.
Well, all right, Jasmine, consider the gauntlet thrown down.
Yes.
I'm not going to stand for this. I'm coming for the title again.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I feel like I have to share this.
But I also like, does Gregory Harrison enjoy it? Like pretty much every scene that he has in that kind of those situations always ends up with him telling Violet a story. Like that's it. Like either go to the kitchen for some cookies and tell a story, or oh hey, just sit on the couch and tell a story. So like let's give Gregory Harrison something more to do than telling a little girl a story.
I feel like we're gearing up for more because, again, when you get a great get like Gregory Harrison, that there's got to be more. And I feel like he will be sticking around because we have Jackie coming back. And that a lot of was because Kim Delaney was filming a movie. So I think when she comes back, which I think she does come back this week, we'll see a lot more. Yeah.
Well, right now, Finn and Anna's wedding is pretty much like Julian's long, slow march to death. That's how I feel. Both are taking forever, and by the time it gets to it, I will not care at all about it.
I really hope that at this double wedding, we get Hayden shows up, and it's just like, if we're gonna have to suffer through this, at least have the cutest little girl, Violet, being the flower girl, being adorable, and then let's have a lot of stuff happen. Like, certainly not either one of these couples get married, but
no, I don't think. Go ahead, James.
No, finish your thought. Go ahead.
I'm guessing not seeing anybody getting married out of this, at least not right away. I could see Maxie and Peter maybe, but not immediately out of the storyline.
Yeah. I'm going to address something in the chat room. Directed at me. It's this Shady Sunday. Daisy Flowers 40 says to me, James, how can you forgive Cyrus but not Peter? Cyrus is worse than Peter. So I'm going to correct you. I never said the words, I forgive Cyrus. I never intimated I was going to forgive Cyrus. What I said was, I enjoy the performance and I'm in now to find out what's about him. I think that characters can be redeemed. And so far, for me, I've always said, if you watch the show with me, you know that I think Peter, the character and the actor, has no chemistry with anybody. That's my biggest problem with Peter. I feel there's no chemistry with Maxie. There's no chemistry with Anna. There's no chemistry with anybody. So that's my problem between the two people. I feel like Peter's done horrible things. Yes, he's done horrible things too. He's done things also, and he's hiding them all. And then Cyrus has done things too. But I feel like Cyrus is, and the person who plays Cyrus is a better actor also. And I've been very not shy about that. So my thing has always been not so much about forgiving Cyrus over Peter, it's I don't like the character of Peter. I've said it from the very beginning. I've never hidden it. I've never been shy about it. So that's why I can't be on Peter's side, because I feel like there's no chemistry, no nothing. It's just dead weights. Where at least Jeff Korber is a great actor and actually is giving they gave him some meaty material with powerhouse actors and he held his own. So that's where, that's my answer to your question, Daisy Flower 40. So I'd make sure that's very clear. But on soaps, they do try to redeem. I said recently, I actually was on Frizz's side for the first time. There was clocked on the show. I said that.
We've corrupted you.
Yes, I was corrupted me. I'm finally in a little bit. I'm seeing. I mean, I love Roger Howard. But again, I always liked the actor. I've always liked the actor. I didn't care for the relationship. It was a little weird for me. But again, he does have chemistry with people. To me, it's about chemistry also on these shows. Like sometimes they force feed us people and couples that just don't work. And I think even you, Daisy Flower 40, can agree. There's no chemistry between Peter and Max. There's zero chemistry. I don't feel she had chemistry with Nathan and with Logan and with all these other people in the past. There's no chemistry. I don't see the chemistry. I just don't see it. That was my whole point about all that.
I love that.
I saw her and Lucky had chemistry. You know, I chemistry. It's like, because Kirsten Storms is great.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great and everything. So I just don't see it. But I've been very vocal about talking about Peter.
I just want to give Kirsten Storms just so much credit for always giving her all, even though that pairing sucks. She is great, and she always really does try. And that can't be said for everyone. But before I get called out, Gia was also in Supernatural. I just remembered that. Marissa Ramirez. She was great. Like, yeah, and there's been a lot of people in and out. Like, there's so many guys. There's 15 seasons, and my brain sometimes.
But I know you do more than me and Frank.
Yeah, of course.
We do. I mean, Frank don't know out there about that show.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever watched it, Frank?
No.
Yeah.
And we got a Gia mention.
For a rainy day.
Yeah, 15 seasons in a rainy day. That'd be great. Yeah, it's a great show. But again, oh my god, yeah.
I did enjoy Maxi's scene with Sasha this week, where she brought up her history with Lucky and the mistakes that she made in this, and she didn't want to do that again. So like, all right, that was a good scene.
Yeah, I thought it was a necessary scene. And, if we are keeping Sasha, because I actually thought Sasha was done for, like with the big axing there. But I like her. And I'm glad she's sticking around. And I'm glad that we have characters like Maxie talking about their past with the drug history, because she was helping Lucky stay addicted to stay with him. And this is sort of where we see that Maxie hasn't always been the person she is today. So anybody can be redeemed, anybody can do better. And I like that she was the one to have that conversation, even though we love to see Lucy. But yeah.
I remember Elizabeth was a bad girl too. Sarah was the good sister, Elizabeth was the bad sister. Then she got raped. And that's what changed the whole trajectory of her way. And she's talking about sometimes she was a bad girl back in high school. She was getting in trouble. And that's the thing. So with good storytelling and longevity, characters can morph and change. But Brando and Sasha, I agree with. Tango Vea, love them. I want them together.
Yeah.
Together.
They certainly look good together.
They look great. See, again, there you go, folks. Chemistry. They look good together. The dialogue, when they're in the room together, I see it.
So we also, speaking of chemistry, we had Nicholas and Ava hanging out in front of Ryan and getting to watch Ava just say what she doesn't realize is not her last farewell to Ryan Chamberlain.
Oh,
I love when she was like, yeah, like I said, a vegetable. Like she was right. It's like, okay, y'all in your doctor speak, same freaking thing. And this was, I love Ava and Nicholas together, but I will say, I did love the Nicholas and Britt scenes too. So if anything ever happens, I could see him and Britt back together. Because she gave him what for and loved it. Like, oh, I knew you'd fall in love with Ava. Like, I want to see them sort of mend fences and be friends, at least for now, too. Because him and Ava are just so good together. And it's fun. Because I love Marcus as Nicholas. He is now my Nicholas because he's reliable. But yeah, the evil smiles and everything. I'm really digging it.
I will be curious because I feel like the Spencer stuff is just kind of hanging there. So, I mean, as last we thought it was Nicholas and Spencer teaming up to get Ava, and then that all blew up and didn't happen. So I'm just kind of curious where everything stands between Nicholas and Spencer. And it would be, I mean, whenever the production can get it around, it would be great to have Spencer back in Port Charles.
He's much needed. Yeah. I feel like we will either get Nicholas back, Nicholas Betchel, who was our original Spencer, or we will get a recast soon, because it makes no sense not to have Spencer, especially with Lulu off. I mean, Laura needs her grandson.
Yeah. No, as much as you don't want to lose Nicholas, if you want to still age him up so he can play around, now that Dev's out of the picture, and have somebody to be able to mix with Cam and Trina and Jocelyn.
Yes, Marcus Coloma is doing a great job as Nicholas. I like him as Nicholas. And Spencer needs to come back. He needs to come back. And I think, but I like the fact that Brett is just so like, okay, Nicholas. He was like needling him a little bit. It was just, but then you got Britt where she talked to Cyrus and let him know what she ain't going to do, apparently. I thought, oh, that's very interesting. So she's taking the role seriously for her. It really is about the role of being chief of staff. That's her redemption, right? That's her whole thing. Is she's that, not the drug stuff.
And I think that they've done a good job of bringing Britt back and having Britt sort of have a moral compass now. And like her concern was Brad and, helping Brad. She didn't mind, she's working with Sonny and Jason and not wanting to do this with the hospital and trying to see what's really going on. And yeah, this is sort of a great storyline for Britt and sort of keeping her around as a character, because again, it's General Hospital. We need more doctors. And she has great chemistry with Nicholas and with Jason. I really enjoy her and Jason. So I kind of hope they go there.
Me too. Britt and Cyrus are combustible. Love their scenes. They were, it was like, that made me go, okay, Britt really wants the prestige and the job and the title. That's what she's in it for. Everything else, she's like, I don't really care what you're doing, so to speak. But it's just kind of like, but don't do what I think you're going to. I mean, she was kind of like laying it down a little bit, like how far she's going to go and not go to the hospital. No, she sided with Valentine for her face. Well, that's Ava. I mean, it's about Spencer maybe not forgiving Ava. It's a great obstacle.
Yeah.
A child comes back, and it's a great obstacle.
No, I mean, especially, now he realizes that the two of them are in love. Does he support that, or knowing Nicholas, knowing Spencer, he's going to try to mess that up for the two of them as quickly as possible?
Which is a great storyline. I mean, it's a great storyline to do. So I mean,
it makes sense.
That's what makes sense.
I would be curious to see how quickly it is before Ryan wakes up. Does he end up back in Pentonville, or does he wake up here in GH and then make an escape?
Yeah, I feel like the Ryan stuff is going to be on down the line. That will be an obstacle for Nick and Ava too. But he could go back to Pentonville and then break out, because this all may be him faking, because again, Ryan is a doctor and he's an evil serial killer genius. So he knows how to get around stuff, and you can tell like he will be back and he will mess things up.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God, the next storyline I was going to mention. I went right out the window, went out the door. What did we miss? There's a few things left, and I'm all of a sudden it just left me. My notes are gone. All my notes are. But there's a couple storylines where there's a few more. There's a couple more, and I'm like, did we catch everything? I mean, we didn't catch everything. You guys in the chat room, remind me. There's a couple things we didn't talk about, and I'm blanking out what it is. I mean, there was so much this week. There was so much. Tracy and Alexis. That was hilarious. Yeah. And Chase shows up. I didn't realize Chase didn't know Tracy. I didn't know
I don't think they ever shared any scenes together. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, "Who are you?" Like, "What's going on?" I'm just Corey. But that was kind of funny, and Alexis like, "No, I didn't do that." And she's like, "Here's my ID. Here's my driver's license. Take it away. I'll take it. I'll put the car." There's been having a lot. I mean, I love drunk Alexis first of all, but but it was just kind of like it was just so funny that Tracy set her up. So I wonder how that's going to happen. What's going to happen there?
Again, they're friends in real life, so all these scenes with them are fun. And I love that Tracy is back to being Tracy, and that we're getting a real, like, Tracy messing with someone. And because she's trying to protect Ned and Olivia. And like she said, she didn't like Olivia at first, of course, as that's what Tracy would do. But she's good for Ned, and so this is her trying to protect it in her own Tracy way. It's actually kind of sweet, and it's funny to watch. Like this is your plan? Like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, because I can't figure out, like, how does giving Alexis a DUI stop her from saying anything to Olivia? That's the only part I don't understand.
Well, I think it sort of, she's trying to get her put in rehab so that she's not there, is what I gather. Because she's like, no, just send her to rehab, right? Like, she kept mentioning that, so I think she's just trying to send her off.
Yeah, send her off. That's kind of funny. And I almost forgot. Thank you, everybody in chat rooms. I asked you guys. Some of my favorite lines this week from Obrecht, the whole Franco stuff.
Yes.
It's just like, no one puts a hand on me and just take it with them. I was like, I loved all that stuff. More Scotty and Obrecht, please. More Scotty and Obrecht, please. More Scotty and Obrecht, please. Those two, I was like,
do we ship them, right? Because they're kind of adorable.
Like, I'll take it. I will totally take it. I love it. And that would freak out Franco. That would just really freak him out.
Well, they both love Franco. Yeah.
I thought that was oh my God, that whole scene was hilarious. And Scotty was going, well, we can't just leave him here. We can't tell him. It was, she's like, I'll take care of the body.
Yeah.
It was just so, and Fritz was like, what's going on here? Like, we could tell, but it was a very cute, it was cute. Even though, I mean, it was a death, but it was cute. Like Dr. Creepy.
Yeah.
It still surprises me that Scotty can't understand why a guy who has a knife all the way up to the hilt inside his chest would be dead. He's like, wait, are you sure? Are you sure? Can't you do anything? What do you think? It's pretty much in his heart, dude.
Poor Scotty. He's tried to do the right thing and he still manages to screw it up.
But it's interesting though that I mean, so Franco's having Drew's memories basically is what's happening. It's mixing in there somewhere, and we don't even know what this means. So I'm curious. I mean, I am actually invested to see what happens with Franco down the line. What's going on? I wish Drew was on the show.
Yeah.
I think it would help flesh out the story a little bit. Plus, they'd all be against Peter on some level. It's there's so much in there. I mean, I wish they hadn't dropped that whole twin storyline about Peter because he had Anna and their patient, this patient. I mean, it was very interesting, but he just kind of like Frank. We always talk about. He just dropped it and didn't really go with it fully. I thought it was a very interesting concept.
And they kind of brought it back up. I mean, and Kevin still has this research, and again, this could all tie back to Ryan at some point too, because we all feel like Ryan will be coming back and not be a vegetable.
I don't know. It's very interesting, but I think with Obrecht saying I can help you too, I don't know. Well, I mean, as her friend, she would want to help him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting, that whole dynamic. But I think it'd be good fun. More Scotty and Obrecht. I want them to fall in the bed together by accident.
Yeah, definitely.
The old trope they do, and then
I mean, as much as she's going to want to help him, just because she loves Franco, finding out that he's hearing Peter's voice in his head is definitely going to make Obrecht move heaven and earth to figure out what's going on in there.
Oh yeah.
Because this sort of ties all into the Dante stuff as well, and that'll be this is like a good umbrella story, and I like that Ulbricht is involved, and it seems like maybe Christopher Cousins got busy, and that's kind of why they wrote the character off. They had to get a recast, and so they're sort of switching Ulbricht into that role. But again, more Kathleen Gotti, we're all here for it.
Yeah, seriously, I think we all can agree with this. Totally take it. It's a friend of the show and everything. Ryan did smile, kind of. So we don't know what that means. Where's Billy's memories? Has everybody watched? Oh, I don't understand that sentence. All right. So anyway, but yes, I understand the sentence, so I can't really finish that.
I mean, with us taking a break, we're going to miss Christmas. So usually GH likes to pull out some great, like, oh, hey, the story just had like some kind of miracle happen to it, so things are great. Is there any kind of storyline miracle you're expecting to see as Christmas rolls around?
I don't know.
Storyline miracle. I don't know.
I mean, there's nobody coming. There's nobody off canvas coming back that we're longing to see. There's nobody that's in a wheelchair that's hoping to walk. There's nobody.
There's nobody we want back together that's not together either.
Is the wedding during this time? Is it during this time?
I guess they haven't really said like a date for it yet. So, I mean, I hope it does. That'd be great.
Get over with. I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Even let's watch it all. Watch all the fireworks go from there.
Well, just getting Carly on the show. Yeah, I know. Laura probably won't come on my show anyway because I don't really care for a man, so it's not going to happen, I guess. So and she's been showing up to opening an envelope. She's on everybody's shows these days. There's nothing more I can talk to her about. She's on everything, so she's doing fine without me. Get
out of here! She hasn't had James Lott Jr. bump. She hasn't had that yet.
Yeah, but she's on everything these days. I mean, her and her man are showing up everywhere. So I'm like, I'm good for now. My little shady Sunday. I'm good for now. But she's I love her. She's everything to me. So, but I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
She is one of the many reasons that Carly may be the worst in a lot of ways, but I enjoy watching Carly because Laura is so good.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah.
Laura powerhouse. She's a powerhouse actress. She is. So I saved the shade on one side, but I'll give her praise too. That she kills every she sells every scene. She totally does. She sells every scene. Again, my favorite of all time was when Morgan died, and she was playing that recording on the ground, and she goes off on Sunny. And it's like this slow burn. The way she talks about it, she pulls the picture of that part to me sticks in my brain, and she was brilliant in that scene. So I just kind of help it. But I want to say, so as we do these last moments, we've been talking forever. About the show, it's the year end. So I mean, what kind of grade would you guys give GH this year out of A from A through F? And you guys in the chat room too. What kind of grade would you guys give GH?
I'll be honest, if we count just like coming back, like, because I mean, there was some stuff I enjoyed. I never hate everything on the show. Yeah. But since they've come back from the pandemic break, I guess you could say, I would say A.
Frank Moran.
Yeah.
What say you?
I'm going to go C+.
That's so you, Frank.
Yeah, that's so Frank.
It's slightly better than average, slightly better, but there's too many storylines that are just taking way too long, and those drags down the grade point average significantly.
I love you, Frank. Okay, so in the chat room, before I answer, in the chat room, we got a B+, an A, probably A-, A, B, A. They're coming in.
Frank is still the biggest hater, of course.
Yeah, that should be.
You're winning now.
They're all wild, Frank. They're laughing at somebody. I would give it an A-. I think A-. Early in the year, B+.
Yeah.
But it got better towards the end of the year. So Tammy Govea says A- also. We're kind of A- people. So yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. There's things that, like Frank, there's things that Frank said that I agree with also. So that's why it's like an A+. But it's in the A range. I think it's in the A family because I think they're doing a lot of things that are way better than that. Charles Jackson says C. C also.
Oh, so he's a like you, Frank. He had to down you, Frank. He had to, instead of one up, it's one down.
Right.
Kirsten Marie has an A also. Marlon Wallace says, I don't watch all the soaps, but to me, GH has been excellent. And he goes says A- also. So the consensus is in the A's. So with a few B's and a couple of haters. That's kind of what's going on there. But I mean, you know, it's Tammy says the best soap right now is 4.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like, because to me it goes GH, Days, Y&R. Sorry, a bold is like a happy little interlude, I guess.
No, I mean, that is nice to hear so many A's, high B's, because it keeps the show going. I mean, if it was all C, B's, you know, then that's really going to keep the show on the air. So, I'm glad people are enjoying it and watching it and allowing me to, to be critical and be disappointed by the show on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. Thank you.
See, if everyone was like Frank, it would be, a terrible world we live in. But luckily, most of us are positive people.
They're all, Shonda 972 goes, Paxi took it from an A to a B. Go on, girl. That's right. But no, they're a small part. They haven't been on that much. So they've not been on that much, I have to say. So that's why I think it's an A- because they haven't really been on that much.
They're balancing a lot more these days, doing more like Days of Our Lives, where they're wrapping, they have a certain group that's here, and then there's this group, and they rotate them a little more.
Yes, 45 people in the chat room. We've been consistently getting between 40 and 50 people in the chat room every weekend. I'm not going to ask you how you rate our show. Probably all D's. That's okay. It's fine. We want to work our way up if we can after all these 6 years of doing these shows together. I've known these people like 6 years. It's crazy talk. So
I give myself an F for sure, and not just because it's the same letter, my name.
It's F for Frank.
Yeah, F is for Frank, who hates EH.
It's so funny. Well, you guys, I mean, I'm not gonna keep talking about the show for the rest of the night, so we're gonna end it now. We want to thank you guys.
I thought we were doing the marathon. We weren't.
Yeah.
Not tonight, kids. James Lott Jr. is ready for his vacation. After this show, I'm done for 3 weeks. I need a vacation. James is tired. You got other shows. You got other things to do.
No, right. It's right. We'll be back
thank
January
you,
3rd. It'll be fantastic.
No, January 10th, Frank.
Oh, wait,
January
what?
10th. Oh, I got to actually rating our show. They said A+,
Oh.
A-, A+, in the
No.
shade A.
Yeah.
A-. Well, thank you guys. That's very cool. We enjoy doing this with you guys, and we enjoy talking with each other, and and I roped Lacretia back in and Frank back in, and Carla, who was on earlier in the year, she's been so busy with her curry critic and stuff. She's always welcome on the show, but she's always welcome back on the show, of course.
It's not hard to get me. I'm not a hard game.
Oh, Marlon, I don't really. Marlon Wallace goes, I give Frank an F, the best F of his life. Oh.
My DMs.
I didn't read that correctly the first time. I was like, wait, okay. And I met Marlon in person last year, so I know Marlon, but I was back in DC. Okay, I give Frank an F. The F. That's okay.
Oh well.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Frank.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Frank is getting the love tonight.
I thought I read something else, but then I was like, oh no, okay.
I will take that. All right.
Must be a beard and a hat, Frank. Must be a beard and a hat.
There you go.
But again, this show is the #1 show on my network. So you guys are showing up. I number one. Like Lacretia's only one. We're #1 on this network. Seriously, the audio podcast version, the video version gets such good numbers every week. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I just don't, And in 2021, yes, public cover. I'm going to work to get guests on the show. The problem is I don't work with GH anymore. They don't work with any of us anymore in the business. They're just so tight with themselves. So I have to get guests on my own. And so I will be trying my best to bring new guests. We have a new logo. It's going to be officially a new season of this show. We come back January 10th. And I'm going to work hard to bring some guests on the show because I do want to have some people on the show. It's not as easy as you think, guys. Trust me, it's not as easy as you think. But I will do my best to do that. Frank,
what are you gonna have us do for our opening credits? We're just gonna be like,
Go do a flashcard really fast. Just
yes.
Don't over again. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Happy holidays, guys, out there. Yes. So, Lacretia, tell them, of course, do your thing, Lacretia. Tell them where they can find you.
Since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And Frank Moran, if they want to test the waters, see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give me the F of my life, slide into my on Twitter and Instagram at Happy Go Jackie.
I told you from the very first show, you're the stud of the show. I said that the very first show all those years ago. Remember, I said that. So you are the stud of the show.
And now it's finally come true.
Yes.
It finally comes true.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Yeah.
Manifest, guys. Manifest.
Manifest. They want us to do housewife type taglines. I don't keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses. Like that kind of thing. Maybe we'll do that. Who knows?
What? Yeah.
He wants to do like taglines when you come on. Be like, I may drink at night, but I'm not alone. They always want to do something like that, I guess, in the Housewives. They want to do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
don't watch that stuff. I'll have to figure it out.
I'll figure it out. That's a few things that she doesn't watch. Like, we should watch everything else.
Yeah.
You don't watch that crap. And you can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms, even on TikTok. You guys follow me on TikTok. I have stuff going on there. I just passed 3.1 million views on TikTok.
Oh, wow.
It's completely, I don't know why or how or what people are finding in me, but they apparently like me on TikTok. Now I don't do any of the dances, so I don't know what's going on there. Pine Valley's coming, so hopefully that'll be good. I will do the after show for Pine Valley, and I didn't even tell Lacretia this. You have to do it with me.
Yeah. I will. Yeah.
You just have
with my Susan Lucci Barbie.
Oh my God.
She'll be in everyone.
Yeah. Totally. I was like, I thought about it, who would I want to do it with? And I'm like, well, Lacretia has to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because she loves, like we do. So for sure, we'll do that. And Frank will be coming to one of my shows near me, near you, because I guess I wrote something for you the other day that I'm going to voiceover.
Yeah.
This clothes will be on, folks. We're not doing that kind of work. It's going to be a legitimate voice over work, Frank.
Oh, all right.
Legitimate.
No, I mean, I'm all, I live for illegitimacy. That's right.
Exactly. Illegitimacy. Is that even a word anymore? We even talk about illegitimate anymore. It's not even a word. It's so funny. But yes. Miss Show Road's out tomorrow. Everyone, please have a safe, clean, compassionate holiday, New Year's and Christmas. Wash your hands, wash surfaces.
We'll see you January 3rd.
What?
We'll see you January 3rd.
On January 10th, we will be back.
Frank
may be here January 3rd by himself. I don't know what we're talking about. But we'll be back. Me and Lacretia will be back January 10th.
Marlon, what are you doing January 3rd, buddy?
So he can set up himself. And we love you guys very much. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.